Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my cute little cheerful, smart, intelligent, and brave friends. Welcome to the Story House, a place where we present to you an interesting story from the Quran every day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated many stories in the Holy Quran, wise and delightful stories that bring you joy and inspiration, while we learn wonderful things from the true stories, old and new. So, let's embark on a thrilling journey into the world of the Quran. But before listening to the story, make sure you have completed all your tasks properly so that you can enjoy listening to the story uninterrupted. And I really admire all of you being a part of this story. Today we have brought to you a story from the 29th juz of the Quran. In the 29th juz, there is a surah called Surah Al-Qalam. You already know the meaning of Qalam, right? Yes, it means pen. In the surah, Allah Almighty has told us the story of the people of the garden. Now, who were these garden owners? Let's find out. There was once a man who owned a garden that produced very good crops. The garden would grow lots of fruits and vegetables in abundance. This man had a principle throughout his life. Whenever he harvested the fruits of his garden, he would divide it into three parts. One part he would keep for the needs of his own home. The second part he would distribute among his relatives and neighbors. And the third part he would give away to the poor and needy. Because of this generous habit, his garden would produce the most crops, and his fruits were the sweetest and most delicious among all gardens. On the day of harvest, the poor and needy would arrive at the spot to collect their share. The owner would announce in advance that the harvest would take place on a certain day so that all the people would come and take their respective shares. When this man passed away, his sons thought to themselves, our father spent his entire life giving away the harvest of this garden to others and remained poor all his life. If we keep the entire harvest for ourselves and sell it, we will become rich. We have the best and most abundant crops, yet we are the least wealthy. Now, this practice should be stopped. The garden belongs to us, and we alone have the right to it. So they decided among themselves that when the time for harvesting came, they would do it during the night. Early in the morning, they would go and harvest it quickly so that no poor or needy person would come. No one would bother them, and they wouldn't have to feel bad by refusing anyone. They even swore among themselves that they would do exactly this. They were so confident in their plan that they didn't even say inshallah, which means if Allah wills. That is, if Allah wills, we will do so. When the time for harvesting arrived, they happily and excitedly set off towards to the garden, early in the morning just before dawn. But by Allah's will, that very night, the night before their intended harvest, a fierce storm struck. Dear friends, it was not just any storm. It was a storm filled with fire, a storm of wind and fire together. Through the wind, the fire reached the trees of the garden, and within a short time it burned them all to ashes. In just moments, the entire garden was reduced to a heap of ashes. When these sensible sons arrived there, they found the whole scene completely changed. They could not see anything that resembled a garden. The situation was such that they began to think, perhaps in the darkness of the night we have reached the wrong place. Maybe we have lost our way and the path to a garden is somewhere else. But then, when they reflected and came to their senses, they realized that they had neither lost their way nor ended up at someone else's garden. Rather, it was indeed their own garden upon which Allah had sent the punishment in the form of fire, and it had burned down to ashes. Now, when they saw the condition of their garden, they began to blame one another, scolding and speaking harshly to each other. The elder brother said to the younger brother, this happened because of you. It was you who said that we should not give anything to the poor. The younger one replied, I didn't say that. It was you who first said that we remain poor while others take away our share. Then they started fighting among themselves. The middle brother, who was a little wiser, said, "Didn't I tell you to glorify Allah, to say Subhanallah and Alhamdulillah, to always remember Him and seek goodness from Him?" But when he had said these things earlier, none of the brothers had paid any attention to him. They had told him, come on, either you support us or leave." Thus he was forced to go along with them. Now they were blaming each other, each one saying, "You said this," and the other replying, "No, this was your idea." But what could have been done now? Regret was of no use. What had to happen had already happened. Their father's generosity and kindness toward others had resulted in his garden yielding the most fruit. The more he spent on others and shared his wealth, the more Allah blessed him. But when greed and selfishness took root in the son's heart, what was the outcome? As a result of their evil intentions, a storm, a fierce wind, and a fire attacked the garden and completely destroyed it. At that time, neither the fertility of their land nor any of their plants could save them. Allah Almighty narrated this story to us in Surah Al-Qalam and taught us that whenever Allah grants us any blessings, we should never forget to give others their rightful share. That's all for today. Inshallah, we'll return the next time with another new story. Don't forget to pray for yourself and for all the Muslims around the world. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and share it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.